Hello everyone, this is Sam. I'm with EV Times, and today we're going to have Alex Sibila on the program with us, and he's going to be talking about his YouTube channel dedicated to electric vehicles. Connection issues here, so hopefully that will be resolved. We're trying to get Alex on here, and I don't know what's going on, but I've invited him to join, and it just doesn't seem to be connecting, so I wonder... Let's see. Looks like it's working now. I don't know why this is not working. I see you, Alex. Excellent. Yep, I see you. So, I keep clicking the accept here, and it just isn't going through. So I don't know what what needs to happen. Yeah, I keep getting the same error. It says unable to join. So I don't know. I really don't know what the issue is here. There we go.
Oh, here we are. All right.
Hi, Alex. Well, that was
What's going on? Right.
Yeah.
How's everything?
Wonderful. How are you? Thanks for jumping on with me here.
Yeah, definitely.
This is EV Times, and we do interviews with professionals in the electric vehicle industry. So I'm just happy that you could come along here. Yeah, let's just get started and just tell me a little bit about your channel and what it has to do with electric vehicles.
Yeah, so for those that don't know me, my name's Alex Sibila. I've had a YouTube channel since January of 2019, I believe. So I was actually I've been interested in EVs for a while, since like high school. I knew I wanted to drive an electric vehicle, and once I graduated college, I was kind of looking for my first like grown-up car, if you will. And I knew I wanted it to be an EV, so I was telling a lot of family members and friends, and a lot of them had kind of said like, hey, I don't know if that's the greatest idea, this electric thing, I don't know if that's going to be around, like, aren't you afraid about charging and all this stuff? So I created my YouTube channel basically to kind of share my journey searching for an EV, but also to kind of dispel some of those myths and just kind of share my journey of myself learning about EVs and what they have to offer and why they're actually a lot better than gas vehicles in a lot of ways. So that was really kind of the motivation behind that. So that's grown over the past 3 years to now doing full-on car reviews. So I just had the Kia EV6 for a week and did a review on that, but also branching out into some other EVs like bikes and some other modes of transportation that are electrified. So that's kind of where it's grown to at this point.
Yeah, I saw the one about the Kia. That's pretty sweet.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's a nice vehicle. It's so nice. I say this all the time with my EV friends. It's nice that we have so many options now. And being like an EV nerd, it's hard to like put any of these down or say they're bad vehicles when vehicles like them didn't even exist, 3 years ago. So
right.
It's really cool.
Mm-hmm. So you said it's been a couple years since you've had your channel. So what has changed, not just for the channel, but like for you as a producer on the show?
Yeah, so I think the main thing is just kind of production quality. I've tried to improve over the years. Audio is like the hardest thing to get right, so trying to improve that stuff, but also just kind of upgrading gear that helps me shoot car videos. Because car videos are very hard to shoot. I follow a lot of tech YouTubers, and like shooting a phone or something that's really small, you can have a really controlled space, but I mean, shooting a car video, you've got to deal with weather, you've got to deal with like filming locations, and there's a lot more involved that a lot of people don't see. So that's probably been the biggest jump, is kind of organizing that stuff a lot better.
Yeah, so it's like the technology of your camera equipment with the car.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
Definitely. So obviously I do this channel because I love electric vehicles, but why do you think it's an important topic to have a channel about?
Yeah, so I think similar to my previous story, I think there's just a lot of misconceptions about EVs. And on my channel, I really like to show kind of the driver perspective or the owner perspective versus just a car reviewer. Like, how can this vehicle actually fit into your life? Because I've noticed a lot of people watching these videos, like they're looking to make a purchase decision, right? So they want to know what it's like to live with that car. They don't necessarily always care about all the specs and horsepower and like fun features and stuff. It's like, hey, can this car take me from A to B, and what does charging look like? And kind of showing that whole paradigm shift in fueling especially is something I pay close attention to, because that's usually the biggest change for people. It's, hey, how am I going to charge in my garage? Or for me especially, I first bought my car without home charging, so I had a lot of videos on that topic kind of talking about like, hey, how can you live without home charging with an EV? Is that possible? Can you just depend on the local public network, or what other options are out there for that? So that's really what the focus has been on the charging side. But then, the vehicle side, there's so many options out there now. So I try to kind of say, all right, this might be the vehicle for you based on what you might be looking for. So, I did the Kia. I think that's a great like first EV, because a lot of the settings when you first hop in the car, it feels like a gas vehicle when you're driving it, which feels familiar for a lot of people, not necessarily a bad thing. But then you can disable those features as you get more familiar and want to kind of see the more EV life driving wise. You can disable those and kind of change your driving experience, which is really neat.
Okay, so it sounds like for you, your emphasis is on the practicality of EV, right? Yeah.
Right, yeah. Because in a lot of ways, I want to make EVs easy. Like it's an easy thing to jump into once you kind of know the basics of things. It's far and away the better driving experience, the better car experience in a lot of ways. Like all of the crap that you have to deal with in an ICE vehicle is just non-existent in an EV. So that's really the main thing I try to preach.
Mm-hmm. What are a few like examples of that?
Yeah, it's kind of the basic things. It's fueling is the biggest thing. So like being able to have your car sit in your garage and be fueled up without having to do anything is amazing. I haven't been to a gas station in over a year now. The only time I do is like when I maybe rent a car or drive my fiance's car. So those are really the only times I have to actually go to a gas station, which is awesome. But then just kind of the maintenance stuff as well. I haven't had to do any major maintenance with my car. And previously I was getting oil changes every 3 months because I was driving a decent amount, and just a lot of that maintenance stuff you have to deal with gas cars is just non-existent. So that's definitely a plus.
Well, it sounds easier. A lot
Yes.
easier. A lot less stress, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So for you, while you've been producing this channel, what is something unique that you've discovered thus far in your journey?
Oh, any specific category, or just in general?
Yeah, it can be anything.
Oh gosh.
Maybe a vehicle that you've used, or for yourself as a producer or something. Really anything.
Yeah.
In your own words.
Yeah, I think in general, just kind of knowing my audience a lot better. I think a lot of people people just kind of fall into two camps where it's like I like EVs or I don't like EVs. Like there's no middle ground. And I think the reality is when I'm at events talking to people, when I'm reading my comments, is like there are those people on the extremes on either side that are like EV fanatics and then EV haters, but the bulk of people are in the middle somewhere. A lot of people are just like, oh, this is an exciting new technology. Maybe isn't for me right now, but I want to learn more about it. Or, oh no, I'm not really into EVs right now, but I could see myself maybe owning one in the future. So I think just audience wise, there's a wide array of people. I think we've got to cater to a lot of them, and everybody goes electric for different reasons. Some people do it because they want to reduce their carbon emissions or put out less pollutants, but other people, they're like, yeah, it saves me so much money because I can charge with electricity that's super cheap in my area. So there's a lot of different reasons people go electric, and I think just kind of catering to all those and making sure all those people are being heard and kind of have something to watch on that side as well.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
This is a bit of an open-ended question, but what is, in your opinion, like the next technology in electric vehicles?
Yeah, so the biggest thing, I actually work in industry, so this is a big thing we're working on right now, actually, is plug and charge. So, the Tesla experience, if you're familiar with Tesla, you essentially go to the Tesla public station, you plug in your car, it automatically recognizes the vehicle, processes payment, starts the charge, will notify you when things are going on, all that stuff. And there's no app to deal with. There's no payment terminal you got to mess with, any of that stuff. And, with gas, that's something I don't think they'll ever get away from. You're going to always have credit card readers on charging or on fueling stations to process payment or things like that. But with EVs, you've got this full software integration and kind of this smart feature where the car can actually directly connect to the charger and process data and send information back and forth. So I think the future is going to be having payment attached to your car. And when you plug in, it just automatically starts charging, processes your credit card or whatever payment you have on file, and it all just happens automatically. You won't have to worry about messing with payment. It's actually going to speed things up because sometimes you go to these public stations and you've got to set up a new account and get all this stuff set up before you can even turn on the charger, right? Which is a huge pain point in the industry, but I think that plug and charge capability is really going to change a lot of things.
Yeah, so the charging infrastructure and making it just easy for people to go up and use it and keep going.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Usability is the biggest thing. I mean, the home charging we've got figured out. I mean, you install it in your garage, you plug overnight, but outside of that, like the public charging infrastructure, making that really easy for people to use is definitely going to be the next step.
Yeah, I experienced a lot of that. I had a Leaf and a Model 3, and
Right.
most of the time the charging is easy. But yeah, you've got issues like that happen all the time where,
Yeah.
it's like the payment is a big thing. So that's really
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. Definitely.
For you and your channel, what's, if you don't mind letting us in on maybe what your next video is going to be or what you're researching right now? Like, what's your?
Oh gosh, I've got my whiteboard up right here, and I've actually got a huge backlog of videos right now. I'm in the middle of probably the busiest season of my life with everything going on. I'm getting married next year. I've got trying to buy a house right now, so there's a lot going on that's taking my time away from YouTube. But
Sure.
I've got a video on the Mustang Mach-E coming out, so that'll be coming soon. I've got a second e-bike on the channel now, so I've got to film some videos with that. Really trying to branch out into some more EVs that aren't just vehicles or cars, I guess. So I've got that coming out, and just some more kind of general EV education stuff because there's a lot happening in the industry right now. I kind of want to get my thoughts out there about that kind of stuff. So I mean, plug and charge is a perfect example, just kind of helping educate people on what that means, where the industry is at, because I think a lot of people hear these terms and then go to Google them and try to figure out more, but there's not always a ton of great information out there. So,
Right. Well,
Yeah.
I actually have a Bird scooter, one of the electric.
oh, nice. Okay.
They're awesome, and so looking
Yeah.
at other electric vehicles, I mean, it's great. It's all
Definitely.
app, easy to charge.
Definitely. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
obviously have a YouTube channel, so we'll link that at the end of the video here. So
Definitely.
Alex, it was awesome to talk to you, and it was wonderful to see you. 'Cause
Yeah, definitely.
we've really seen each other, I guess.
Right. Right.
We'll stay in touch, and yeah, thank you so much. We'll see you on the next one.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks everybody for tuning in.
Thanks, Alex. Have a good one.